In the middle of June of 2019, I was working outside and I noticed I had a swelling in my neck just after the 1st of August and confirmed Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I started my treatments at the Cancer Center in Pittsfield at the end of August of 19. So I finished up the end of January of this year and started feeling pretty good. Didn't have my hair back, but I started getting my taste buds back, and life was seeming pretty good, somewhat normal. And then I started feeling ill, and I went to see the PA. She said, "Gee, it really looks like you've got the flu, so I'm going to give you some Tamiflu, and you should feel better by the end of the week." But I actually started feeling worse, and I did make it to Pittsfield for my CAT scan, or my PET scan. I'm sorry, which was going to show how the lymphoma did after my treatments. That was really, really important to me. So I made it down there, not feeling well, got through the PET scan. Dr. Bayless called me that night and told me that the PET scan was great, that I was cancer-free. He said, however, it looks like you got a pretty serious lung infection going on. And he didn't know what it was. He thought maybe it was a pneumonia of some sort or an infection. And so 2 days later, I got up in the morning on Sunday, March 1st. I went into the bathroom and I passed out. I had never passed out in my life. My wife heard the thump. She opened the door and said I was out cold. And by the time I did come to, about 4 or 5 minutes later, 10 people just rushed into my house. It was the North Adams Ambulance Service with the Clarksburg first responders, police and fire, and they took me to Berkshire Medical Center in Pittsfield. I was in the ER for a couple of hours, and I pretty much begged my wife, I was so sick, to please not to let them send me home. So I was really, really happy, believe it or not, when they said, we're going to admit you. I was on the 5th floor at BMC for 5 days, and for 5 days I answered kind of the same questions, which was, Mr. Bua, where did you travel? I said, I really haven't traveled. Debbie said, it's the Cancer Center. We really didn't do much else. I went to the dump, went to church, and went to a few basketball games, but basically was a homebody, just trying to get through my cancer treatments. But I was the first one in the state, much less Berkshire County, that tested positive for community spread. There was far too much pneumonia than they've ever seen before, and that's what they were treating me for. And Dr. Kaliko is the contagious disease doctor at BMC, and she said every time she would do a scan of my lungs, this white filament would get worse and start spreading. Every day she looked at it, it was getting worse and worse. She said, this is COVID. This is the coronavirus. This is what I've been studying. This is what I've been preparing for. But when she called the CDC, they said, no, it's not, doctor. I respect your opinion, but it's not. He didn't travel. I couldn't figure out where I would have contracted it because it was just drilled into our heads that it wasn't here. It wasn't on the East Coast. It might not even be in this country. It was in China. It was in Italy. It was in South Korea. And I said, that's why I said, you can swab me. But the day Debbie brought me home was Saturday, March 14th. And I had been there 1 day shy of 2 weeks, 13 days. And when she brought me home, I was all suited up. I had the gown, the gloves, the booties, the mask, the face shield, everything. Sat in the back seat, cracked the windows to get air in the car. And on the way home, I bet you I saw less than 10 cars. So the world changed in 2 weeks, and my recovery, took a while, and I'm still seeing Dr. Rolberg and Dr. Bayless, but I feel great, and I'm really happy. But I really, really never put the blame on anything or anyone, a higher power. I was just so happy to come home.